Hope everyone is doing great. Yeah, so just giving it a shuffle. I had a few cards come out before, as I was preparing before, just giving them a bit of an extra shuffle now. So 3 cards, excuse me, got a bit of a cough at the moment. 3 cards came out in the last reading. They just all flew out together, and it was almost, yeah. There's something being, so in the past there was something being offered that he couldn't see, but he can see that now. Apparently, there was, I'll show you the cards. There was a decision about whether he continues the fight or drops the fight. So we have, the 4 of Cups here with the offer that, you know, he's sort of has been considering and decided to take a new path, decided to drop the fight that he was in. So that's because the last reading I did was about the masculine. So I'm feeling like this is going to be about the masculine again. If there are any specific messages that come out that are for the feminine, then I will label them. Yes. So I have noticed more and more the discussion or the awareness around the toxic side to the feminine energy, and that the masculine energy are pulling up their socks and have been now for, it's been, you know, happening for a while, and I mean, you know, a significant amount of time that this has been in the works. And these wave, I want to say, they want me to say wave. This wave, that is a term that's used sometimes when we're talking about the energies. But this wave of the divine masculine souls are committing. So they're committing to what means the most to them. They commit until they cannot commit any longer, meaning it's detrimental to one or both parties to continue. To decide a new path, which is what's happened for a lot of these masculines. It takes, you know, a lot of strength. So the strength card just came out, and bravery. So congratulate you guys for doing what you've done, and it's been really hard. I know I've been saying that recently, but oh gosh. Oh my gosh, what the... sorry, the same card came out and I was like, am I using the same deck? Because I've mindlessly been, not mindlessly, but as I've been talking to you and channeling, I've just been pulling cards out, but the same card came out. So the 2 of Cups has come out again. The Victory card, 6 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, and the Hierophant. Okay, I'll just pull a few more. Sorry, going through the process of connecting. I don't know why I'm saying sorry, but I know some people might get a little bit impatient with my mumbling or my pausing, but that's just part of the channeling process, and as I practice more and more, it becomes more fluent and smoother, but it depends on the energies as well and the messages I'm trying to deliver, because sometimes it's really hard to pick up on the energies and not stumble over your words or pause or get distracted, you know, because excuse me, yeah, because there's a lot going on in the energies. So gonna get into it. I'm just gonna pull one extra card here. Oh, that's in reverse. So I'll leave that there, and that is as well. All right. Okay, so to start off the reading, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So there has been a period of time of grief and grieving. In the reverse, for me, it feels like it's done. We can turn that one on its head now, because, or it's in the process. So it's happening, but it will soon be not so painful. So yeah, so we have the Nine of Swords, and then we have the Nine of Cups, and you know, and nines are towards the end of a cycle. So, you know, 10 is like so 9 really is the end of a cycle, and 10 is the new beginning of the next. But so basically sorry. I always tell people not to say sorry, and then I end up saying it all the time. So this is the wish fulfillment card, and this guy he's got his jug filled, and he's filling up his own cups. And this is basically what we need to be doing as a collective, wholly, being true to ourselves, and doing what we need to do to take care of ourselves, and putting ourselves first and foremost, because if we don't do that, who are we any use to after that? You know, yeah, it's sorry, I just had an ADHD moment and went off into La La Land. So that's where, we've come from a period of grief. Masculines and feminines, I believe, have been going through grieving periods, but it's coming to the end of a cycle and a new one is beginning. And that new cycle starts with the Two of Cups. So after the work, you know, of the Seven of Pentacles, you know, or sort of waiting for, you know, planting a few seeds and waiting for it to grow and being patient, and with the Two of Cups is like a love vibe. It's a very reaching out, comforting, friendly vibe. It's a community vibe. And in that new cycle, we realize that, you know, what we've hoped for is possible. With the Star card here. Hold faith is what I'm hearing. And I'm still trying to establish a connection here. Sorry, it's been 9 minutes already. Oh my gosh. So wish fulfillment is possible, and the masculine need to believe that what they sort of, it's almost like the feminine, we've been banging on with the feminine energies and saying, you know, what you are worthy of, you are is possible of getting, you know, like you're entitled to. And now it's like, okay, well, the masculine are like, well, okay, neither of us are happy, you know, for example, in the situation. You know, what would I like in a relationship, you know, now that, you know, it's actually a bit acceptable to separate from someone. You're not necessarily abandoning them or your responsibilities. You're just trying to navigate your life as healthiest and as best as possible. Because with the Empress card here, you know, the happy life and happy wife thing. So this is a strange reading. It definitely feels very masculine. You know, it's possible. Sorry, I just need to take a sip of my tea because this is getting funny. I'm just noticing there's some really cheeky energies. The masculine are coming out of their shell, I just heard, and being unafraid to be who they are authentically. And, you know, today I thought about actually doing just a purely channeled reading, and this might be a combination. It's always channeled, but the cards can be a little bit distracting at times as well, but they serve as a link for me to channel. Yeah, but they are distracting, but they do tell stories. So I'm just going to coordinate the two of those. Anyway, so there's some cheeky energies around because what is it? I just heard, you know, because we know what's going on. It's like people are starting to wake up a bit. And realize that there are people who have opinions that aren't helpful, and there are people who have opinions that are, and then act in accordance with those opinions. So it's all about perspective. What you debate, you create, perhaps. I just heard. So with the Two of Cups, and as you can see, my energy has completely changed. This is great. So I've tapped into a good source here, I believe. I seem very cheerful now. It's great. There's a good vibe on the way. There's a good vibe happening. So the Two of Cups is about, you know, the woman's kind of standing there and she's like, okay, show me what you got. And he's like approaching her as if to say, okay, so, and you know, there's the intertwining of energies symbol in the middle there. So, you know, you can't have one without the other. We need to work together. We need to work with the polar of ourselves if we're going to succeed. And we need to work with each other as a collective in general anyway. Because, you know, this without hard work, you know, you cannot reap the rewards. And people might view people who are going through things and cannot function at top-notch level as weak or lazy, but in fact it is just symbolic of that person's internal journey and how heavy that weight is on their shoulders. So everyone's, you know, journey looks different. So I think, you know, we need to lose that judgment. And find peace and balance. We have the I'm so sorry. We have the Justice card and the Hierophant card. And what's coming through for me is that balancing the emotions at the moment with the daily tasks of life is a bit heavy at the moment. Not everyone is coping as well as they could be in different environments. But the notion of doing the right thing, of having the nature of doing the right thing is becoming a really strong theme now. And the consciousness and the conscience of human nature is just continually evolving. I'm so sorry, that's probably made really loud microphone noise. Because, you know, in the end, there's the reason for celebration. There is a coming together. There is a news and a new offer in the emotional space, in the connection space. The Page of Cups, and the Four of Wands, you know, symbolizes absolute celebration and happiness and fulfillment. So I just heard, I'm not going to try unless you're going to try. So it's like, well, whoever says that to the other basically needs to come from both parties, because if, you know, both parties aren't going to try, then that's not going to work. And we need to be pushing the topic of compassion and understanding and self-awareness, because if we're not careful, well, it's already happening, the masculine are going to become very swift with their mental space, where they stand with their actions, because the mental space, you know, becomes physical. And basically, you know, the masculine need to heal. See this the child down the bottom there? Everyone's so distracted that child's been left on its own, and it's like, well, it's now time for the masculine to not baby themselves, but to nurture themselves and go through the healing, because it's time, and we need to allow them that time and space and respect. You know what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna see if there's anything further that will come out. I just heard, I don't want to leave you in the dust, but I must, because you didn't hold my heart the way I held yours. Anyone who's going through a breakup at the moment, or recent past, or have walked away from a certain energy or person, if you've been walked away from and you happen to be watching this, then that message is for you, and it's a sign that you need to look inward. I'm just going to pull one last card as a resolution. What is going to... Yeah, so there's some sadness there. There's some people walking away. There's some, it's pretty much just confirmation of what I just said. And, you know, we've got the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords. And, you know, 5 is all about change and the middle of the cycle and transformation. You know, the battle is over. Again, just walking away from the drama, going inward. Ridiculous, isn't it? But ultimately, ridiculous because it's true. Ultimately, everything is going to move forward in a really positive light. So hold true to yourself, maintain faith in the highest of good and love, and act accordingly. Thank you.